Hey friends, how are you doing? Hope everyone is well. I'm very curious to see what is going to happen to the market this week. This is going to be very interesting. So let's get into it. I want to talk about Soundhound. Just released another fantastic quarterlies. It wasn't enough to please Wall Street, but who cares? I mean, if this is a company that you are growing with and you're sticking with, this could not have been a better quarterly. I mean, for all in all purposes, this is fantastic. So I want to talk about that, and I do want to talk about. I've been getting a lot of comments about this company, and this company came on to my radar about a month and a half ago. RZLV here. I want to talk about them because Rezolve here because there is something going on now. This is not me saying whenever I talk about a new company, I'll always see like a comment like a week later, like, dude, you talked about that company. I threw in X amount of money, and now the company's. That's not what I'm saying. I just want to talk about it because I love new, especially AI stocks, innovative companies that look like, hey, this might be something special here for the future. I mean, every company starts somewhere. I mean, no company starts off with things just like popping and working great. I love the dark horse story of the company coming out of the depths of the market here and just kind of making a new light. So let's talk about Resolve, talk about Soundhound, and friends, I hope you are well. Let's get right into it here. So Soundhound. Speaking of the dark horse, I mean, Soundhound has been my dark horse for all of last year, all of this year. I've been in the stock for 2 years now. Okay, this is a stock that I've been up and down, so many situations, but I mean, this is wild. This is so wild. So looking back at '01, quarterly number one of 2024. Soundhound was like what, $1, $3 at the most on a good day, and I mean that the company was making just over $10 million quarterlies. So I mean, you're talking about a stock that was and no one would have told you to buy this, and even when I was talking about it then, I was like, this is, it's a, you gotta start somewhere, like kind of what I just said here. But through that, we saw a lot happen here. Now, we have gone all the way from Q4 of 2024, going from, at the start of that year to 10 million, over 10 million to like 36 million end of last year, then starting off the year right under 30 million, and then Q2 and Q3 here have been $42+ million. So you're talking about a company that is now, if they keep achieving this, they're going to be close to revenue they have never seen here. I mean, this is insane. So imagine if they can close out Q4 here at another 42, 43, even $40 million. I mean, we're going in this place of where 200, $300 million in revenue, where this company's going. Now, that may not sound like a lot to a lot of people when we talk about AI stocks, because even on like something like Palantir, something like that, one of their deals alone could be around $200-300 million. But this is amazing because you're watching this company being this whole new revenue stream, and right now, I mean, this is why the stock has been so aggressive here, especially this year, where it's we've gone from $15 to $25 to $17, back to $20. Now we're down at $14 because of the market crash here. But undoubtedly, what are we going to be going into in 2026? So this is one of those things where I look at Soundhound and people want to compare it to the AI bubble situation. Soundhound's different here. This is a situation where Soundhound, all of last year, this year especially, they've been getting these deals with, the automakers, deals with a lot of fast food chain restaurants. They broke off into Europe, getting deals over there. They are really going after, non-AI companies where they're getting their revenue. They're working with big automakers. They're working with big fast food chains, and some other random things out there too. But I mean, this is great. So this is fresh capital money that is cycling in this company right now. And, going into 2026 here, is Soundhound going to continue to pour out these $40 million quarterlies? Or, what if we start seeing 45 50 million. This is how things get expensive very fast. I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So I know a lot of you were here buying Soundhound around when it was like, two, three, five, $7. And that is absolutely amazing. I mean, congratulations, you're doing really good. I look at Soundhound here and I go like, well, if there is an AI collapse here, wherever the market goes from here on out, I will admit the market is high. It is very high. There's no doubt about that. You can't find enough argument to say it's not. There's some things not overpriced, a lot of things overpriced. But with that too, I am in this same argument where I go like, well, I mean, the market can just continue to go up here until something terrible happens, really terrible. What we've gone through here the past 2 weeks, yeah, I mean, there's been some correction, there's been some sell-off, but two, this was a lot of opportunity to buy into things for cheap if we're about to go into another super cycle of the market, especially with another rate cut down the line here. Soundhound is proving that like, hey, we're going after something new here, and we're making a name for ourselves. I will say this, that if Soundhound starts to recycle these year after year of this kind of jumping that it's doing right now, from 2024 to this year, I mean, revenue jumped 15 to 20 million dollars. Okay, and now if we go into 2026 by summer, if we're in this situation of they're releasing even a 45 to 50 million dollar quarterly, does that mean that we're in this place of continuation in growth right now? It's very exciting. I there's this weird thing where I'm kind of jealous of Soundhound that it's continued to do so well off these really different avenue of revenue compared to something like Big Bear, where I look at Big Bear and go like, God, when is Big Bear going to get in this feeding frenzy of like we're seeing these quarterlies just continuing to jump up here. Why can't we see that? So all in all, happy to be a part of what's going on with Soundhound here. It's a truly amazing watching this stock do well here. And obviously they're going to continue to do well. Their software, what they're doing, I mean, they do what they sound like they do, AI auto. But so, yeah, let's talk about something else here. So friends, when we talk about Rezolve here, it's something that is a little different. I mean, it is literally the epitome of an AI company. I mean, there is no doubt about it. And I do look at this and go like, okay, is this the genesis moment of something groundbreaking with this company where, they are literally using AI to help people shop, experience, really search what they're looking for, the web, really getting it down to, I'm not here to break it down and say that it's going to work, it's not going to work. What I am looking at is the bearings of the company, what's going on with the inner workings of it, what kind of money can they make? Are they really going to start to really turn some big profit here? This is a company that has undergone some pretty big things here. They just brought in Elizabeth here, who has worked with Microsoft. So this is really, really interesting that they now have, a pretty big name attached to the company here. In Rezolve, they have made it known here that they are going after a huge push in sales here. They're really wanting to push what they're doing here to get the company going. One reason they say they've hired Elizabeth here is because they're really trying to break into the U.S. This is a company that is not in the U.S. They're trying to break into the U.S. here. With that, them trying to really execute something here into, a whole new country. Obviously, there's a lot of revenue here. There is a ton of revenue for this company if they were to really, get in, before something else was made like this. They're headquartered in the United Kingdom. But I look at this right now and I go like, yes, it's the epitome of an AI company. Will this work? I definitely think, I believe in an automated world. Okay, so I talk about this a lot in trying to really break this down with language in my own head here. companies that are focusing on laziness, if you will, bringing whatever it be to the customer, making someone's life much simpler, much easier. I see that we are going into a future world of like the movie WALL-E. Okay, if you know that movie, where everything is controlled by AI, robotics. I mean, we are headed down that road. Now, how long it takes before, the leapfrogging into, that to where it's really, just more apparent that's where we're at. I don't know the time on that. But I do believe that companies that are getting more into this atmosphere, this push of revenue with business of bringing comfort to customers, they're going to do well. Now I look at Rezolve and I go like, this is the epitome of something like that, and I go like, this will most definitely work if they find the avenue for it to work here. And if this company does get bigger here in the next 5 years, this could be something special. Retail sales can be insane. I mean, you look at this and go like, this is a company too that I look at, I go like, could they get big enough to where they get bought out? Could they get big enough to where they have money to where they just keep pushing, and they can be a real big problem for other companies that are similar to what they're doing, but they obviously have found this unique niche right now in the market where they're at. So I think it's very interesting. I like that they have this, Elizabeth, who's worked with Microsoft, has a great background with, her employment, what she's done here, and, her relationship with sales and pushing into that. I'm talking about Rezolve too because I've seen a lot of people comment about it. Like, are you on to what's going on over here with this company? I definitely think this is not me telling you to unload funds in this. Like, I'm not telling you to like go get a second mortgage. That's not what I'm saying here. What I am saying is I definitely will be watching this company here. I want to see the continuation of quarterlies. What's going to happen here? But like I said, I have a lot of companies that I'm watching right now, AI companies, that are focused on bringing comfort and laziness to people, okay? That may sound really superficial, super simple, I don't know, but it's the God's honest truth. I think there's a lot of money in that market where we're talking about automated services where this is one reason why I'm so obsessed with, SoFi, because SoFi is such a they're bringing the bank to you. Just pull out your phone. What do you need? You need a loan? You need a credit card? What do you need? Boom. Automated systems where you're not dealing with people, where you just like few buttons, click, boom, there, we got this going. You need a plan. What do you want to wear with that? Let me pick out your outfit. Where do you want that delivered? We'll bring it to you. This is the kind of things I'm looking at right now with companies like this. This is a big thing. Now, I think there is a big thing with this company that they're up against right now. It's marketing. Seeing what they can do with marketing, because a lot of people, they don't know what this company is. It's a company that's in England, and right now they're obviously, this year they've even spoke of this publicly. This is the big thing and why they brought in Elizabeth. They are really trying to push into the United States here, really get in here and make a name for themselves. Now, how long will it take for them to push down the wall of getting into the States here? I don't know, but I definitely think it should be on like your watch list for next year. Watch what happens with this company. They've got a lot up against them, no doubt about that. But people talk about this AI bubble popping. Yeah, I mean, whatever. The AI bubble pops. Okay, guess what? It doesn't mean AI is done. Like, this is the future. Automated systems, AI. This is what everything is now. There's no doubt about it. I'm under the belief that this is going to get so crazy in the next 5-10 years. I think, our kids, if you have young children right now, you're getting ready to have kids, there's going to be jobs that, will just not be around, 5-10 years from now, something like a car salesman or a realtor, things like that. Where, this is why you're seeing Carvana, you're seeing open door, things like this where you can just do these things on your phone. The younger generation does not want to talk to people. And when you are able to process this stuff through a phone, through AI, you've got something, man, because the younger generation, they're going to go, that's what I want to do. I don't want to think I just need this done. Here's all my points. Here's my money. Here's the colors I like. Here's where I want to be. Boom, done. Automated system. I mean, that in Rezolve, I look at that and I go, you got my attention. You got my attention. So, friends, yeah, that's what I want to say about it. I'm watching. I may continue to talk about it. We'll see. I am curious about the company, what's going to continue to happen here. I'm rooting for it 100%, man. You know, I love this stuff. That's just like, I really do. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.